AOC is basically discouraging New York progressives from running against establishment Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries without any justification. All right, so we're not surprised by this. AOC is not challenging the establishment leadership, Hakeem Jeffries. You know, I will say this. When Matt Gaetz was challenging the Republican leadership for his force to vote, which, by the way, again, force to vote is an actual tactic, and it took a conservative, a Republican House representative to basically show us that force to vote does work and will work and can work. What a surprise. Who's surprised? I'm not surprised by this, but yes, it does work. Who knew? A bird goes tweet and Al goes, who knew? But yes, it does work. Force to vote does work. And yet here we are. Here we are indeed. So I want to give a huge shout out to my good friend Nico House, speaking truth to power, because AOC is discouraging New York progressives. Am I not surprised by this behavior? No, I'm not surprised by it at all. So no one's challenging Hakeem Jeffries. Shout out to Nico right here. Check out Hotspot as well as his channel as well.
Not AOC throwing shade and discouraging leftists from challenging Hakeem Jeffries. Yes, Councilman Osei of New York announced that he will be challenging Hakeem Jeffries. And you know what AOC had to say? She certainly doesn't think it's a good idea to primary challenge the leader at this moment in time. This is your progressive champion. This woman is your leftist queen. She could.
Okay, Nico's trying to do a British accent, so I'm going to do my Michael Caine one too. Hello, everyone. I am Michael Caine, and I just want to say that the Batman and I are very upset. We saw her. This is Michael Caine. This is a terrible British accent. This is Michael Caine saying we're very upset with AOC. Jacqueline Jack H, please. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I tried. I can't do a British accent.
Didn't even give a good reason as to why she doesn't think it's a good idea to challenge Hakeem Jeffries, ladies and gentlemen, which is hilariously ironic because in order for AOC to win, she had to primary Joe Crowley, who was the leader of the Democratic caucus and was set up and in line to replace Nancy Pelosi as a leader of the Democrats in the House. Looks like AOC has finally completed her transition from leaving the squad to joining the mafia. Democratic mafia, I mean. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, I have
It's the same thing, Nico.
forgotten. It was just last week that a lot of y'all were calling me crazy for suggesting that Mom Donnie also didn't support Osei's run against Hakeem Jeffries. Despite Osei supporting Mom Donnie, despite Osei being an advocate and a friend of Mom Donnie said that I believe there are many ways right here in New York City to both deliver on affordability agenda and to take on the authoritarian administration in the White House when he was asked about Osei.
Let me talk about Hakeem Jeffries for a moment, who now may face a challenge from Chi Osei, who is a member of the DSA. You said that there are local issues that Mr. Osei should be focused on, maybe should remain a councilman. Are you saying he should not run against Hakeem Jeffries?
No, I'm saying that I think the focus should be right here on New York City. I respect the work that Councilmember Osei has done.
But what does that mean? Should he not run?
I think that right now is not the time to be engaging in that kind of a primary. I think the focus should be on delivering on this affordability agenda.
In other words, when offered an opportunity to dispel the claims that he will not be supporting Osei and instead will be backing Jeffries, he did not dispel those claims. If anything, he just kind of doubled down. So two quote unquote progressives from New York have just thrown the left under the bus again after taking a bunch of y'all money.
Who's not surprised by this? See, don't worry. Anyone that was conservative or worried about Zora Mandani, don't worry. You got a phone call. Everything's fine. What, New York City going to turn into Stalingrad? Not quite. New York City's going to turn into Stalingrad. No, it's not. Don't worry. The mafia, the DNC will set them straight. Hold on. And bad cookies. You wrote this. Just another Democrat. Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Using the clout that y'all gave them and making a bunch of promises they had zero intention on keeping. And y'all still think this party and these motherfuckers are redeemable. Hell, in a recent meeting with Jerry Nadler, Mamdani discouraged a supporter from explaining why leftists are anti-Zionist. But this is supposed to be y'all pro-Palestine champion.
And I heard that in this meeting, another elected starts explaining to Nadler basically why progressives and leftists believe or make a priority of anti-Zionism. And that Mamdani looks at said person and tells them to stop and says, this is not what we're here to do. We're not here to try to talk Jerry Nadler into some position he doesn't have. We're fine with the position he has. I can tell you for a fact, he is in those rooms telling them to stop.
He's trying to discourage leftists from moving Democrats on their pro-Zionist position. AOC is refusing to support progressive challengers from New York who want to oust establishment Democrats.
I want to pause here too. We're going to put a pause on this. By the way, shout out to La 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 Cha Cha Cha. I remember your username. I don't know why YouTube is doing this. I don't like what YouTube is doing to my audience. I don't like it. But does this really surprise anyone? No, it should not surprise anyone. And one other thing here too. Remember, when Zoran Mamdani won the primary for the New York mayoral election cycle, a lot of Democrats, especially those in positions of power, begrudgingly had to be forced like a donkey being dragged, you know? When you see a donkey being dragged, how apropos for the Democrat Party to endorse and support Zoran Mamdani. And I hope all of you noticed how Zoran Mamdani did that Autobots transform. Like how I did that. Captured the 80s tone of it. No one clipped that. How he transformed and shifted and did a flippity flop on a lot of his policies.
Because they're leaders. Despite the fact that her whole career is predicated on a victory that came against a leader of the Democratic Party. So explain to me once again how we're supposed to redeem a genocidal, psychopathic party. It's time to abolish these motherfuckers. Because the main impediment to progress, at least from a leftist perspective, are the Democrats who keep pretending they want the same things as you and then telling you to fuck off when you try to actually fight for change. So how's reforming the Democratic Party going for you, social Democrats? Because I thought the point of everyone getting behind Mamdani, despite the fact that he was joining the Democratic mafia to try and win the mayor of New York, was to reform the Democratic Party from the inside. But many of us try to tell you don't reform the Democratic Party from the inside. Once you get inside, it reforms you. And y'all attacked us for it. Y'all said him being pro-Palestine was a victory, and yet he chose to maintain the very Zionist commissioner who was present when students were...
Seems like he's going to be pulling... Hey, listen, NYC, just going to give you a heads up. NYC, you know me. Just give you guys a heads up. Number one, Chicago has the best style pizza. Number two, get ready to see Zoran Mamdani, Brandon Johnson it up, okay? Ain't nothing, none of his policies going to get passed. It's going to fail miserably. And something tells me he's going to keep people from the previous administration in positions of power, just like how Brandon Johnson did the same, because there are people from Emmanuel's administration or appointees and Lori Lightfoot's administration and appointees still in power. Now, perhaps I've been reading too much of The Art of War and the Prince and the Discourses, but, you know, you want to surround yourself with people you appoint. Yes, to do your job, to do the tasks that you tell them to do, but also challenge you critically here and there to where in which they could best help you. You don't keep people from the previous administration in power. That's what I remember.
getting the shit kicked out of them for being part of pro-Palestinian protests. Them's y'all's people. Go get them. The same way y'all was in my comments defending Mom Donnie, the same way y'all been in my comments for years making an excuse for AOC, I want y'all to keep that same energy and go get those people that's supposed to be reforming that party y'all think can be reformed. Because we told y'all, and y'all ain't want to listen.
It's okay, Nico. I feel crazy too. Well, not crazy. It's like always like, yeah, hey, didn't we? You always have people like commenting like, oh, yeah, you don't want to do anything. No, I do want to do something. You just can't do it on the Democrat Party. So there's a lot of people talking about AOC and how she's saying, hey, we cannot be right now primarying Hakeem Jeffries, right? All right. So apparently, many people. There are some progressive challengers in the Democrat Party who are going after people, but especially people like Hakeem Jeffries. But AOC said, I certainly don't think a primary challenge to the leader is a good idea right now, said AOC. She did not say whether she would support other primary challengers to more moderate Democrats. Huh. So in other words, this whole kind of fight the oligarchy tour, was it a bust then? Was it a Bernie or bust? Pretty much, I think it was bust, right? The bus, just farted right there, and that's the end of it. The bus just busted, and not the fun kind of bust. Okay, the bus just went over the edge. That's what happened. But we all have to remember that, as Nico pointed out, she rose to prominence when she took on Joe Crowley. I remember 2018. Oh, if I could travel back in time, so much I must warn young kid about. So much I must warn that beautiful man about. So much I must time travel about. All right. But even then, you had people like Emma Vigeland who could have said something similar about Crowley in 2018. The fact that you got people like Emma Vigeland even saying that, like anyone that carried water for AOC, especially for forced to vote, I'm looking at those who were against forced to vote. I'm looking at certain people right now. Now seeing in the aftermath of what happened, AOC saying now's not the time to challenge Democrat leadership. If not now, when? I'll give you the answer. They're never going to do it. A curse upon Kyle Kulinski and Jake Uger for bringing the Justice Democrats to fruition. A curse upon their household. I will curse their names like I'll curse the name Germania and Arminius till the day I die. Till the day I die. So what people are saying, well, journalist James Lee wrote, AOC is the new Pelosi. Okay, not going to argue with that. Comedian Kate Willett wrote on X, I think when deciding whether or not to support DSA taking on this primary challenge, keep in mind it will be DSA alone. No AOC, no Zoran, no Bernie, no WFP, no other progressive organizations. That'll be very different from the Zoran race. Yes. Yeah, well, I'm not... Listen, support independents and third parties. All right? Support citizen ballot initiatives. I'm not surprised with AOC doing this. No one should be surprised. No one should be surprised when your favorite lawmaker decides to flippity flop all over the place. I'm not surprised by this. Everyone needs to grow up, wake up to reality. The Democrat Party is not designed to cause the ruckus. The Democrat Party is only there to make sure everyone falls in line.